Hello dear students. So today our topic of discussion is achromatism in optics. In my previous videos we have already discussed about chromatic aberration and spherical aberration. So achromatism is basically refers to the case of chromatic aberration. So before starting achromatism, let me just do a little small revision of chromatic aberration. So what was the chromatic aberration? You remember that if you use a lens, okay, any kind of lens, it can be a convex lens or it can be concave lens, and suppose if you have a like white light coming out of from a white object, okay, for which you want to get the image. So as a ideal condition, white object should have a white image, but in this case what happens when the light enters this particular lens, okay, then what happens, the white light splits into 7 colors, isn't it? So 7 colors it will split like that. So violet color will be deviated less and red color will be deviated most, okay. So this is violet color, okay, and the red color meets the axis here. So we have different focus for different wavelengths, okay. So focal lengths. So for violet, focal length is this much, for red the focal length is this much. So ultimately if you want to so white light is carrying 7 colors. So if you want to get the image, so you are not going to get a single image, you are going to get a bunch of images with different colors, okay. So you will have different wavelengths. So it's not a good image, it's a blurred image with different colors, okay. So like here you will have the indigo color, here you will have the blue color, here you will have the green, then yellow, then orange, like that. So it's a kind of mess, so it is not at all a good picture. So chromatic aberration is a defect of a lens by the because of which it is not able to produce a single image for a single white object, okay. So the image becomes colored and blurred. So that is a problem with chromatic aberration. So that means what we have got to know, that see what I told you, that you have a different focal length for violet, you have a different focal length for red, okay. That means focal length is changing with respect to what? Wavelength, okay. For red color there is a for red wavelength there is a different focal length, for violet wavelength there is a different focal length, okay. So that means you can see that variation. So the focal length is varying with respect to lambda, is it? So it is not equal to 0. So this is what happens in chromatic aberration, isn't it? And you know that, you see, lens formula, you know that v 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to 1 by f. So obviously u is always constant, isn't it? If you want to differentiate it, d lambda, okay, of 1 by v is equal to d lambda of 1 by f, because this is equal to 0, you can't, it doesn't vary, it remains constant. So that means if there is a variation of df with respect to lambda, there will definitely a variation of dv with respect to lambda. It is also not equal to 0. So that is the conclusion. So for chromatic aberration we have two mathematical statements. A mathematical statement, that is the variation of f with respect to lambda equal to 0. So df by d lambda is not equal to 0, and similarly dv d lambda is also not equal to 0. So now what happens in achromatism? So in achromatism is nothing but opposite of chromatism, okay. So it means simply a removal of chromatic aberration, okay. So removal of chromatic aberration means what? df d lambda should be equal to 0. Are you getting? For chromatic aberration, df d lambda is not equal to 0, but for achromatism df d lambda must be equal to 0. So which also implies dv d lambda is equal to 0. So what does it mean? So when you have an achromatic system, if you have a white light, okay, so for violet also the light will meet at the same point, red will also meet at the same point, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, every light will meet at the same point. So that is called achromatism. Achromatism says that the focal length and the image distance doesn't change with respect to lambda. That means and image distance is independent of the wavelength. Okay, so that means df d lambda is equal to 0. So dv d lambda is also equal to 0. So this is a condition for achromatism. So achromatism is a phenomenon by virtue of which you remove the chromatic aberration from a lens. Okay, that is or for an optical system. So this is called and any system in which there is no chromatic error or chromatic aberration, that is called achromatic system. Fine. So there are two ways of removal of removal of chromatic error. Okay. So first case 1, removal of chromatic aberration from a system of two lenses separated by a distance. Okay, so this is the case. Removal of, or this thing can also be called removal of chromatic aberration, nothing but achromatism. So condition for achromatism for a system of two lenses separated by a distance. Okay, so that is one thing. Or you can also okay, let us just stop here. So these are the things. So how to do that? We will draw the ray diagram. So suppose that you have a lens like this and you have another lens. Okay, and both of them are of different materials, different things. So first thing, we will name it as L1, this is L2. So obviously this is the principal axis. Okay, and this one is having a focal length f1 and this one is having a focal length f2. Okay, so let me first of all do so generalizing the focal length for a thin lens, we have 1 by f equal to m minus 1, 1 by r1, 1 by r2. Okay, so you can know this thing is almost constant for every lens. Okay, so I will name it as 1 by f mu minus 1. Okay, fine. So now differentiating both sides. So let me name it equation number 1. Okay, and let it be equation number 2. So it will be del 1 by f, and if you differentiate with this thing, 1 is constant, so it will be del mu k. So from here obviously k equal to 1 by f mu minus 1, so del mu by 1 by f mu minus 1, so that is del of 1 by f1. So so this is a generalized a situation for a lens, thin lens. So here we have two lenses. Okay, so lens L1 and lens L2. So we will write this equation for both the lenses. Okay, so first lens, it will be del of 1 by f1 will be del mu1 by f1, mu1 minus 1, and it will be del 1 by f2 is equal to del mu2 f2 mu2 minus 1. Okay, so that's what we have. Again, again the resultant focal length for the combination of the two lenses is, you know that when there are two lenses separated by distance, the resultant focal length is this is, I will denote by capital F. So that is basically given by 1 by f equal to 1 by f1 1 by f2 minus d by f1 f2. Let me name it as t. Okay, so that means here the two lenses are separated by a distance t. So again, differentiating both sides, we have del of 1 by f is equal to del of 1 by f1 del of 1 by f2. Then I need some space because t is a constant, so t will stay outside. Okay, then del of 1 by f1 f2. Okay, so let me do it much more clearly. Is equal to 1 del of 1 by f1 plus del of 1 by f2 t into 1 by f1 del of 1 by f2 minus t into 1 by f2 del of 1 by f1. Okay, that's all we have. Now let it be equation number 3. Okay, but you know that what I said, that we are trying to make this whole system achromatic. Okay, now this whole system has a focal length f. Okay, so if you consider the whole thing as a chromatic system and having as a kind of lens or optical system, so whenever the ray of light is passing through it, after coming out, whatever be the color, it should have the same focal length. Are you getting? So if you consider, so whenever the light is coming out of the system, irrespective of the wavelength of the light coming from the object, the focal length should be single one. It should not vary with respect to lambda. All the colored waves should focus at the same point. That is the concept of achromatism. That means the focal length cannot vary with respect to lambda. So that means for the system to be achromatic, okay, this should be equal to constant, it cannot change. Okay, so that means df d lambda should be equal to 0. Okay, it should never change with respect to lambda, or in fact I can write it del f is equal to 0, generalizing. So so if del f is equal to 0, del of 1 by f should also be equal to 0. If f is a constant, 1 by f is also a constant. So that is the thing. So using this in 3 we have, okay, so what is that? So this part is totally equal to 0, this part becomes 0, so this thing only remains. So let us do that. So 3 implies 0 equal to del of 1 by f1 plus del of 1 by f2 minus t into 1 by f1 del of 1 by f2 t into 1 by f2 del of 1 by f1. Okay, so that is the thing. Now next thing we are going to do is that let us go back to equation number 2. Okay, we have equation number 2. So sorry, not I think we should change it. Say let me name it 2a. Okay, so 2a is del of 1 by f equal to del mu by f into mu minus 1. So we know that, so we have, so that will be equation number 4. So we have from 2a del of 1 by f equal to del mu by f into mu minus 1. So del of 1 by f is equal to 1 by f. I will keep it outside and it will, I will call it this one. Okay, so this thing is nothing but dispersive power of a lens. This thing is denoted by omega and this is called dispersive power of the lens. So it is omega by f. So del of 1 by f is equal to omega by f. So it is equal to equation number say 5. Okay, where omega equal to d mu by mu minus 1. D mu means any color that you have considered. So usually we are considering red and violet color as an extreme colors. So you may write it like this: mu v minus mu r. Okay, and mu minus 1. Mu is nothing but the average of both of them, like mu v minus plus mu r divided by 2. That's all. So it's called dispersive power of the lens. Okay, so using 5 in 4 we have, so you see 5 means this del of 1 by f equal to omega by f. So del of 1 by f1 will be equal to del of 1 by f1 will be equal to omega 1 by f1. Similarly, del of 1 by f2 will be equal to omega 2 by f2. So we are going to put all of this in this particular equation. So let me write it down again. So it was like 0 equal to del of 1 by f1 plus del of 1 by f2 minus t into 1 by f1 del of 1 by f2 minus t into 1 by f2 del of 1 by f1. So that is equal to 0. So it is nothing but omega 1 by f1 omega 2 by f2 and t by, so here it will be omega by f2. So it will be t into omega, sorry, omega 2 by f1 f2 minus t into, this thing is nothing but omega 1 by f1. So it will be omega 1 by f1 f2. I would like to suggest all of you to do it and only you can understand. So omega 1 f1 omega 2 f2 minus t I can take out. Okay, so it will t by f1 f2 I am taking out, so it will be omega 1 plus omega 2. So I will say change the sides, so it will be t f1 f2 omega 1 omega 2 is equal to omega 1 f1 omega 2 f2. So here I am taking LCM. So it is omega 1 f2 omega 2 f1. So f1 both sides, you see they are common. So what remains? T into omega 1 plus omega 2 is equal to, omega 1 f2 omega 2 f1. Okay, so that's the condition for achromatism. Okay, or you can say that achromatic doublet separated by a distance. So this is the condition for achromatism for a system of two lenses separated by a distance, or you can say that condition for forming an achromatic doublet separated by a distance t. Okay, so this is a condition for a system of two lenses, condition for achromatism for a system of two lenses separated by a distance. Now let us consider the case 2. Okay, so what is that case 2? Removal of chromatic aberration for a system of two lenses in contact, or condition for achromatism for two lenses in contact. Here you see, in exam you will definitely have to do the whole process again, just like as case 1. Okay, but here we are not going to repeat all of this again, we are just going to write down. So you know, two lenses in contact means it will look like this. Okay, so this is L1 and L2, this is having a focal length f1, this is having a focal length f2, this is the principal axis. So overall you need to form an achromatic doublet. Okay, and in such a way that when the ray of light, suppose it is a achromatic doublet, so when a white light is entering into it, okay, and when it comes out through it, so it should, whatever be the color, okay, although it is a white light, after passing through it will definitely split into different colors. Okay, so irrespective of the wavelength, irrespective of the color, they should, all of them should meet at the same point. That means focal length should always be constant, it should be independent of the wavelength. That is called the achromatism condition. So here the everything will be same, let me tell you. So here in this case also, if you are asked to prove that, you will have to do everything, repeat everything, like you need to write this, you need to write this, you need to write this, you need to write this and this, everything you will have to write. Only thing that will change, that is from here. Okay, you need to change from here. So what we will write, that the resultant focal length for the combination f is given by, so it is 1 by f equal to, obviously 1 by f1, 1 by f2, because t is equal to 0 now. So obviously del of 1 by f is equal to del of 1 by f1 plus del of 1 by f2. All right, so since it is a achromatic system, so I told you that del f is equal to 0. So del of 1 by f also equal to 0. So this side will be equal to 0. So del of 1 by f1 plus del of 1 by f2, that's what remains. Now you know what happens here. Let us go back. What is that relation that we have already obtained? Yes, del of 1 by f is equal to omega by f. So the del of 1 by f1 will be omega 1 by f1. So we'll be putting the value omega 1 by f1, omega 2 by f2. So that means omega 1 by f1 plus omega 2 by f2 should be equal to 0. So this is the condition for achromatism or achromatic doublet in contact. Okay, achromatic doublet in contact. Okay, so this is the second condition. So notes regarding this are already provided in the Google Classroom, and those who are not in my Google Classroom, they can retrieve this notes from my home site, link for which is already provided in the description box. You can visit that site and you can collect the notes using the Google Drive link. And what is the next thing? One thing that I have left out, I would like to go back to that situation. Yes, this equation, achromatic doublet, condition for achromatism for two lenses separated by distance. So this, I will modify this formula further. So for two lenses separated by distance, it goes like this: omega 1 f2 omega 2 f1 divided by omega 1 plus omega 2. Alright, let me check again. Yes, correct. So there may be a question that if the two lenses are of same material, then it will be omega 1 will be equal to omega 2, means their dispersive powers will be almost same. So what remains then? Omega f2 omega f1, omega plus omega means twice omega. So omega all gets cancelled. So what remains? f1 plus f2 divided by 2. So this is the condition for achromatic doublet separated by a distance with lenses of same material. So this is a modified condition. So that's all for achromatism and conditions for achromatism. If you have any doubts, feel free to discuss your doubts with me through email, Google Classroom, or my personal WhatsApp. Thank you.